All right, boys. So, Clash of Paris 2025 just finished up, right? As you can see, I'm still wearing my John Cena merch. I just, finished watching it. It just ended here. I wanted to record this video before, my thoughts go away because I want to start doing these for like PLEs, PLE reviews and rating the matches and talk about my thoughts and what can happen in the future. So, yeah, we're going to be doing a Clash of Paris 2025 review here, going through the matches. I'm going to give them a rating 1 to 10, obviously 10 being the best. I'm going to talk about the match, etc. and stuff. Just like a basic review video, right? So here we go. We're going to start with the starter match here, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. For my rating of this match, I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. A very, very solid match, right? Obviously not like a peak match. It's not up there in the 9 or 10 range, right? Not like top tier Roman Reigns matches. But I think the reason why this is so high is a few reasons, right? One, definitely one of Bronson Reed's best single matches by far, right? I think I might have like Bronson Reed versus Braun Strowman on Raw not too long ago. Monster versus Monster, whatever. That was really fun. And we had the set third turn at the end, and that was just a whole fun match or whatever. Which you could say that's the match that led to him joining the Vision, honestly. So it started that feud and stuff. But yeah, Roman versus Bronson Reed. I think Roman was very fun in this match. I like seeing Roman Reigns post Bloodline because we can actually see this man wrestle, right? Because while he was a tribal chief, while he had the championship belt, while he had all his Bloodline members, 90% of his matches were ending in shenanigan, Looney Tune wins, cheating, right? Solo helping him, Jimmy helping him. So seeing Roman wrestle without someone helping him cheat is very, very fun. Because I feel like now, all right, this is how I think of it, right? The Roman Reigns tribal chief, what was it, 4 years, a little over 4 years, that era, right? Obviously, prime Roman Reigns, right? Which is why, for that character, for those years, which is why a lot of people have Roman Reigns on their Mount Rushmore now, or the like top 10 wrestlers of all time, is because of that. But at the same time, like I just said, since he cheated a lot in that, I feel that also kind of hurt his career because a lot of people thought this man couldn't wrestle anymore after that. They're like, oh, he's just a good character. He's just good on the mic. It's just a story on SmackDown and stuff why he's so good. But as a wrestler, he's kind of mid. He's overrated. People are actually calling this man overrated because of those matches. But like now you guys can see he can wrestle. Even Big Dog Roman, before Tribal Chief Roman, he could wrestle, dude. He knows how to wrestle. So in this match, he definitely showcased a lot of wrestling moves. He was picking Bronson Reed up, which Michael Cole said himself. He was over 300 pounds. Very fun match. Obviously, it led to Roman. It looks like he's going to be out for a while. I would assume this is because of his filming for the Street Fighter movie, which they did for Cody Rhodes on SmackDown, right? Drew took him out. Cody Rhodes needed to go film Street Fighter. I don't know if that was because of Street Fighter or because he had a baby, because we just found that out. Either way, maybe it's a mixture of both, because he was still wrestling with the baby there. So I think it's mainly towards the Street Fighter thing. And now since Roman Reigns has to film, I think he'll be gone for like 2 months maybe. We'll see him back in a few months to come back, you know what I mean? Which sucks because this probably confirms that we won't get Roman Reigns and John Cena one last time. I don't think they're going to do that anyways, but that's kind of out the window. I kind of wonder who they're going to do for John Cena in the future, right? Roman Reigns is out the question. It looks like AJ Styles is out the question, which we'll talk about more in that match, but yeah, overall, I give this match an 8 out of 10. All right, and then the second match of the card, probably my least favorite match by far, Wyatt Six versus Street Profits. I'm going to give this match a whopping 6 out of 10. I don't know why I said whopping. Usually whopping means like a good score. Yeah, 6 out of 10 here. It was just okay, right? It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good. It just felt like a SmackDown match. And honestly, I felt like this was supposed to be the SmackDown main event before Clash in Paris. And I think the slot was originally going to be Naomi versus Stephanie Fakir. I think this is what was supposed to be on there because also having one's woman match was kind of weird. Usually you at least have two. So I think this is what replaced the Stephanie versus Naomi slot. And this definitely seemed like this was the Friday Night SmackDown main event before Clash in Paris. I don't think it was supposed to be Solo and Sammy on this Friday before Clash in Paris, and they just switched it because obviously they couldn't do Naomi and Stephanie anymore. Again, it was just okay. It wasn't bad, right? I can't give anything other higher than a 6 because one, like I said, should have been a SmackDown match. Two, it was predictable. I don't why 6 was gonna win, right? Them interfering. I feel like it is also getting kind of repetitive. They're starting to make me hate the Wild Six the more they just kind of interfere and stuff. I just want to see like Uncle Howdy wrestle and other people wrestle. Like I feel like Uncle Howdy has wrestled 1 or 2 matches since being returning. I don't know. Like he doesn't really wrestle. I'm talking about single matches, by the way, not like group matches. Like I want to see this man and some single matches, go for a belt or something, which would be fun. And then we have our only women's match of today: Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Love this. If you guys don't know, Becky Lynch is my favorite female wrestler of all time. My second favorite wrestler of all time, right? My top three: John Cena, Becky Lynch, Roman Reigns. And of course, I'm going to be biased towards Becky Lynch, but I also do love Nikki Bella. I have Nikki Bella in my top 10 women's wrestlers. Possibly top 10 of all time too, maybe top 15 for both genders. But yeah, I love Nikki Bella. Obviously, she did a lot during the Divas era, right? I would say Nikki Bella and AJ Lee were the two most important in the Divas era. In my opinion, you can add Paige in there too, but Nikki Bella, either way, the Bella Twins in general, really important. Obviously, the best women's tag team out there of all time. I do think this match could have been a little longer. I think if it even just added 5 more minutes to it, I could give this I could push it up to a 9 out of 10. That's my biggest complaint. That's the only thing holding it down. I feel like it was almost too short, but at the same time, I feel like they had to shorten a match for the last 2 matches because those were like both really long, which was the Logan Paul, John Cena, and obviously the Fatal 4-Way main event. Those are both very, very long, so I think they had to cut a little bit of time on this for those 2 matches, which if I think about it, at the end of the day, it's fine. I think both of those matches are peak. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, 8 out of 10 here. This was a fun match. Becky did her cool pin. Again, I think they're just going to add this into her moveset now because people loved it. Was it Evolution when she did it against Bailey and Lyra? It was a cool little Becky pin. Maybe this is a new thing she's going to start doing. But like I said, it was cool. Nikki Bella, hitting Becky on the stairs. That was a cool spot and stuff. So overall, just a fun match. 8 out of 10, like I said. Could be higher. They should have just made it longer. And we have the match that everyone's like, ooh, should it be on this card? Which I don't know why. Rusev versus Sheamus. I don't know where the Sheamus hate came from because I haven't seen a bad Sheamus match in literally years since I returned to WWE. Watching it again, I don't think Sheamus had a bad match. Like this guy is probably one of the most underrated wrestlers of all time by far. This was fun. A lot of crazy spots, right off the barrels into the tables. You had a lot of crazy spots. The ending, how Rusev won, putting the thing in his mouth. I'm blanking on the name, what that's called, but you guys get what I'm saying. And Sheamus actually tapping. Michael Cole said himself, this is his second time tapping out in his career, not passing out, right? Not like he can't physically be conscious anymore, but like physically tapping out and giving up. He only did it one other time apparently, so this is actually kind of crazy. I don't know what that's going to do for the story. Is this going to put doubt in Sheamus' mind, right? Or we're going to do one of those stories where he thinks he's not good enough anymore? What are we going to do here? Because I feel like they're kind of done with Rusev and Sheamus. I feel like this was the end of their story. I think Rusev's going to move on. Maybe we get Rusev going for one of the belts, IC title belt maybe. Sheamus, like I said, maybe they'll do a story where like he thinks he's not good enough anymore. As the match itself, like I said, good spots. These two have really good chemistries. I don't think these two had a bad match in this little feud. The Raw matches, this match, it was all fun. I really enjoyed this. This was a trilogy, right? Because they did 2 on Raw, and I believe this was a third. But yeah, 9 out of 10. Nothing bad to say about this match. Yeah, really fun match. Sheamus is really good. And Sheamus needs more PLE matches because this man be carrying. He'd be carrying PLE sometimes. Now, my favorite match of today, Logan Paul versus John Cena. Giving it a 10 out of 10. Don't care. Call me crazy. This John Cena retirement tour has been really, really fun. And some of these matches are going to be in some of my favorites of all time. John Cena versus Randy. John Cena versus CM Punk. John Cena versus Cody. And now John Cena versus Logan Paul. Those 4 matches right there are going to be up there for me. These are very, very fun. But this match, holy cow. Right, let's talk positive about both of them. Let's start with Logan. Right, all John Cena's promos are pretty much like, listen, you're a disappointment. The fans don't like you, blah, blah, blah. Right, we get it. And, Logan Paul showed the haters wrong. Right, you can hate this man. Right, you don't like him. You don't have to like him as a person, whatever, or his life decisions. Or what he does outside of wrestling, but listen, bro, he is a good wrestler, and Michael Cole said it himself, he was just doing moves he was never done before, and he was in his bag, bro. They were both in their bag, though. So if we want to flip it on John Cena pulling out other wrestlers' moves is crazy, right? Doing the Code Red / Pop Rocks, whoever you want to choose, right? Same move, right? That was crazy. You have the End of Days. He did Baron Corbin's End of Days, which is one of my favorite WWE finishers, and I think audiences as well, so that was fun. Obviously not as good as Baron Corbin, but Baron Corbin makes it look good, and John Cena still made it look cool. That was so cool. But my favorite one that he did, obviously, which I think you guys probably are thinking AJ Styles style clash. That caught me off guard. I literally shouted out loud, put my hand in the air. I was like, Styles clash. That got me the most hype because it just caught me off guard. And I know we all, I think that's the last person missing that we all want to see left on John Cena's retirement tour, right? We got Randy, we got CM Punk, but we really want to see that AJ Styles. Doesn't look like it's going to happen because in the post conference he was saying he did that to kind of shout it out because there's some wrestlers he knows he won't be able to verse, but he still wants to honor them. And when he said that, I was like, all right, it's pretty obvious. There's a good chance he's not wrestling AJ Styles unless something last minute changes. But maybe I'll make a separate video on maybe who I think his last few opponents will be. But yeah, this match was just so good, man. The whole time, there's not a single time my eyes were looking off the screen. I feel like I wasn't even blinking. I was just like, because both of them were just pulling out so much different moves, I was just like, what's next? What's about to happen next? And the near falls were crazy. Attitude adjustment off the top rope. Yeah, the reversals in this, they're both in their bag. Listen, I don't care what y'all say. Logan Paul is goated, bro. He always puts on bangers. This is going to be one of the better John Cena matches for sure in his career. I don't care if you think that's crazy to say, oh, Logan Paul is a YouTuber. What are you talking about? You need to watch more wrestling. Don't care. I like the wrestling that I watched, and this was a very good match. So, yeah, 10 out of 10 for me. My only 10 out of 10 on this list. And then the main event itself, the Fatal 4-Way, with Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Championship belt, defending against CM Punk, LA Knight, and Jey Uso, Yeet Man himself. Very fun match. I'm going to have this at a 9 out of 10. I want to put it at a 10 out of 10. I really want to, but there was a few slow moments, right? And I had to really think about it because a 10 out of 10 is like a 10 out of 10. Again, a 10 out of 10 is the John Cena, Logan Paul, or John Cena and Cody Rhodes, or like, you know what I mean? Like a 10 out of 10 is like it's perfect for me. And like I said, since even if it's just like literally just a few slow moments, that's a 9 out of 10. I can't make it out of 10 because, like I said, the Logan Paul and John Cena match, for example, I'm just using that because it's on this card. There wasn't a single moment, like I said during that when I was reviewing it, is like that I was like, ooh, this is like, ooh. But there was a few moments I was like, all right, it's a little slow, but like I said, it was still crazy. And I think a lot of people are actually hating on the ending, which was Becky Lynch joining the Vision, joining Seth Rollins' group. This actually bumped it up to a 9 out of 10 for me. As a wrestling match, right? If you took out the Becky stuff, this would be an 8 out of 10 for me. Still very solid, still very good. But as a wrestling match, I don't think it's better than the Rusev and Sheamus match, which I have at a 9 out of 10. Like, as a wrestling match, that Rusev and Sheamus match is better. But that ending, like I said, when I'm reviewing matches, I'm adding everything. It could be from entrances to the ending to the storylines, right? I probably should have said that in the intro, but that's what I'm adding. And since the ending of Becky Lynch joining, like I said, you guys heard me say earlier, my second favorite wrestler of all time, obviously her being part of this storyline now in this group, it's going to bump it up a point for me. So I do have it at a 9 out of 10 for that ending. I thought it was very cool. And also, I don't know why y'all are hating on this because there's a good chance we get AJ Lee because of this, right? I think there's a good chance that we get Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee now, because if she's part of the group and CM Punk, you know, got screwed a championship belt because of Becky, obviously he can't fight a woman wrestler, so who does he go get? His wife himself, AJ Lee. Or maybe we even get AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch one-on-one. Get a little trilogy maybe, get a little feud between them, and then maybe we get the 2v2 at like WrestleMania or something. I don't know, because that's obviously would be one of the biggest matches of all time. The two biggest wrestling couples, you can say, right? The only other one you can say is John Cena and Nikki Bella, but they didn't last, so right? They're not a couple anymore, like active couples. I would say they're top 2 WWE couples or wrestling couples in general, not just WWE. So, yeah, 9 out of 10 here. But for the overall event, I did 8 out of 10. Right, very solid. I think 8 out of 10 is very good. Just because I didn't give it a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10, I'm not saying it's bad. 8 out of 10 is obviously very tell. Like I said, this could have been a 9 out of 10 or even a 10 out of 10 if it wasn't the Street Profits versus Wyatt 6 match. Like I said, that was just, I don't know why, man. I know it wasn't their fault with the Naomi stuff, but like, why don't you just give us another Roman's match or something else, man? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm glad Wyatt 6 got their time to shine, and the crowd loved them. Obviously, they're even singing the Wyatt 6 entrance, which was one of the more doper moments of the night. But like, it was just okay, man. Again, and it was, maybe I'm just hating on it a little too much because it was predictable to me. Like, there's no way Wyatt 6 was losing there. Street Profits had their time with the belts. They're gonna move on to Wyatt 6. Wyatt 6 are probably versus different opponents. So, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though. I want to add this. I know we're kind of not talking about this match anymore, but I kind of want Melo and Miz to dethrone them. I want to see them as champions, man. I just want to see Melo do anything because Triple H, you're screwing my man Melo. But yeah, that is my review of Clash of Paris 2025. You guys let me know any of your thoughts below in the comments. Give me some ratings on some matches or just some thoughts or what you think is going to happen in the future. And what type of videos you guys want to see. Do you want me to do a video on who I think the final opponents of John Cena are, or what they should do with Becky now in the Vision? You know, let me know below in the comments. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm going to catch you all in the next one.